Okay, let's talk about Julia's Punishers. This is actually a pretty strong aspect of the character, especially if you're capable of doing the things that she is able to do. 10 frames, she has a couple of options. 1-1 is pretty meager damage. You can go for that 2 follow-up if you think they're going to bait on it, but you're not going to get much from that. 1-2 is less damage, but she can go into wind roll, either left or right. This gives you a small mix-up opportunity. We'll talk more about wind roll at another time, but needless to say, you can go for a stance mix-up here. It's just not a very strong mix-up. It can be beaten. The real option out of 10 frames is 2 back. If you just press 2, you get a normal punch like that, but if you press 2 and then back, she does that spin. During that spin, if you press 1+2, she gets that for free. That's 30 damage, you're +3, and their back is turned. You couldn't ask for too much more of a Punisher. We've seen that move in several variations over the years, Wang and Michelle, and they've had different ways to do it, but this one is pretty good. It's damage and it's frame advantage. 10 frame Punisher, really strong. Technically, her 11 frame Punisher is Party Crasher. You would have to just be a huge nerd to be able to do this in 11 frames on block, reliably, or even every once in a while. It's supremely difficult to do. If you want to sit there and practice and learn it, you could. The best I could ever get it in was 12. I blocked this down back 1, and I could punish with Party Crasher, which is 12. Technically, it's 11. I trust the frame data. I've been able to do some of the other ones that it says are way too good, so I believe that this is 11. If you can do it, God help you if you can. That's mid is the biggest advantage to that. You have an 11 frame mid, which is super rare. And it's got excellent range on it as well. For 12 frames, you could just go for that. Forward 2-4. That works just fine. It is a high mid. You know, something is recovering and crouch, whatever. But that's pretty decent for your 12. I mean, you're still better off to go for this damage-wise, but that feels a little bit more natural to keep away. You know, you have a little bit more distance at the end of that. It's up to you. So far, this 10 frame punish has beaten everything. You don't really need to work on a bigger one until you get to 13. 13, you have down forward 3, 1+2, which is a mid. It's a natural combo. You can't hit confirm it, though. It looks like there's a nice delay in there, but you can't. You got to go for it. It's pretty good damage in the knockdown and everything that you want. But if you were this same kind of huge nerd we talked about before, you can do this. Technically, that can be done in 13 frames as well. Forward, forward 3. You can do forward, forward 3, and then that. Instant running 2-1, carry the rest of the way to the wall, get 40-something, 47 damage. 47 damage off of a 13 frame punish, and possibly the wall carry too. That's absurd. But like I said, you have to just be perfect, absolutely flawless to be able to block someone's 13 and punish with that and get it reliably. It's super hard to do, but it exists. Otherwise, for the rest of us, that works pretty well. You get the knockdown on the wall splat at 13, which is all you really want. 14, you can use this. Down forward 4-2. It's minimal damage, but it's got good range. And you can test them with the mix-up if you want to. Not a good idea, though, really. Smart players are just going to sit there and take it. But at 14, you're going to have a little easier time going for that. That would be a little bit more doable, but not great. It's still going to be tough. 15 frames. Takes it a little bit easy on you. Down forward 2-1. He's got a basic launcher. Nice little cinematic launcher. Very, very negative on block, so you got to be sure about that one. It's 15 frames, but it doesn't get much easier than that. Super good range. Seems to suck them in a little bit. It works well. You can also do quarter circle forward too, which is that. This is a high, but it's safe. This also has a lot of good uses because it high crushes itself. This is a really good move. If you can do it in 15 frames, practice that. It's a much more useful tool to be able to just wing that thing out there. They both give you that high class launcher, so that you get different combos you normally wouldn't. So work on that as well. Quarter circle forward 2 is an indispensable skill for Julia. And that's also 15 frames. But like I said, if you want to take it easy, that works too at 15. 16 are her hop kicks. Up forward 4-3. You can do this from crouch as well, which is nice, should you need that option. I'll tell you now that it's going to get patched out in the near future. There is an option select with this. If you just delay the 3 the tiniest little bit, it won't come out if the move gets blocked, which basically makes this safe. It exists now, but it's probably not going to exist in the future, so don't get used to it. Your hop kicks are going to be minus 13, like pretty much everyone else's. You have that extension, you can do this one afterward, but you lose the combo if you did. So kind of just think about it in terms of a regular ass hop kick. You want to just sidestep and do it. There you go. That's all you need. For her crouching punish, she has a while standing forward that knocks down, which is a nice property for a lot of characters. The drawback here is this is like minus 15. If you just like do this and they block it, that's a launch for them. That seems way too harsh for a while standing forward that knocks down. Lily's and Xiao Yu's, they're not like that. That's a bit much. 12 frames, she has full crouch down forward 2, which is that. This elbow that you see out of shotgun. She can do it from a crouch position. That's pretty good as a punisher to be able to knock down. Also good as part of a full crouch mix-up game. So remember that one. Full crouch down forward 2. You block anything low, you might as well go for that. Make sure it's got a 12. Most things are going to be in 12 area as opposed to 11. So learn to go for this on low blocks. It's worth it. 14 is her while standing 3. It's mid, it's homing. Spins them back, which means it wall splats, but it doesn't knock them down. That's pretty decent. And at 15, she has while standing 1 for a launcher. This used to be slower. They sped it up so now that it is 15. So you get a basic launch at 15 like everyone else, and you don't have to rely on your hop kicks at 16. So she can launch at 15 with her while standing 1, just like she used to do, only it's a little bit faster. So that's a pretty good set of punishers. And like I said, if you have the execution to do what she's able to do, it's among the best set of punishment in the game. Starting off with that 30 damage on your 10 frame, and if you can get that 47 or whatever I said it was, playing on pad is a little tougher for me. 47 off of your 13 frame, that's absurd. That's a super good amount of damage just from those 2 alone. That's all you really need to worry about. And then you get a launch at 15 with this character just heaps on the damage. So if you want to sit there and practice that in the lab, it might be worth it if you're going to main Julia forever. Work on that forward 3. The instant you block, bang, bang, and have that move ready to go.